Here are the top 5 ECs to check out in 2026. And there will be a bonus of 2 more ECs coming up in 2027. Hi, my name is Kenny. My former job requires me to do data analysis, and I've brought this skill here into real estate. By using data analysis, I help my clients to achieve a better price compared to their competitors, as well as the safest entry property for them to purchase. Before I go into the 5 ECs that's coming up in 2026, for the benefit of those who don't really understand ECs and want to find out more about ECs, I'll share with you what are the restrictions for ECs and what are the requirements to purchase an EC. So what is EC? EC is in the middle between private condos and HDBs. So this is a very special property that the government actually introduced to us, because we need to fulfill the requirements set by HDB. Okay, it is a very strict kind of eligibility conditions, yet we can actually enjoy facilities similar to a condo. So you have pool, you have gym, you have function rooms and all. This is a bit challenging for a lot of people because eligibility condition is what really restricts this pool of buyers. So EC provides us a condo lifestyle, like I mentioned, with the facilities and everything, but it comes with an accessible pricing. What it means by that is that the land price usually for EC, right, is actually lower than private condos, and with the conditions imposed by the HDB and government, right, it's actually more difficult for people with high income to purchase EC, and therefore the price has to be lower so that they can actually match up the loan. Private developers bid for the land sold by HDB for ECs. So generally the price for the land is lower compared to private condominiums. So the eligibility is a bit like HDB. So we have like first timer, second timer, you need to be Singaporean, or you at least have one Singaporean within the family nucleus. And there's income restrictions for ECs also. And similar to HDB, we have an MOP of at least 5 years. So after 5 years, we can actually sell off to PRs in the resale market. And PRs who are single, they don't need to have a family nucleus, they also can purchase private ECs. At the 10 years mark, the EC is fully privatized, which also means that the pool of buyers will increase because the foreigners can actually purchase our ECs. This is very simple. If you have applied for HDB before, or you have gone through the eligibility conditions before, this is very similar. So you need to have at least one Singaporean and one PR to apply for EC. And then you have to form family nucleus, meaning to say it has to be like fiancé scheme, it has to be a married couple scheme. So for those who are single, when it comes to HDB, we need to be at least 35 years old. Same thing goes for EC. But in this case, we can actually have 2 singles, joint, what we call is joint singles, 2 single who are both 35 years and above, they can actually purchase this EC together. So similar to HDB, when it comes to BTO, right, the couple, or rather the family income, has to be 14,000 or lower. For EC, this is 16,000 and lower. EC also comes with CPF housing grant. So this is the breakdown. So for 10,000 or lower, you can get up to $30,000. And if you're between 10,000 to 11,000, you're getting 20,000. And between 11,000 to 12,000, you're getting $10,000. So for Singaporean and PR couple, you're getting 10,000 lowers compared to a Singaporean and Singaporean couple. Okay, so you can actually request for this top up once the PR changes to a citizen. So the EC buying process is quite straightforward. It's a bit like the private condo process. So we have to actually do a e-app submission. So this will be submitted to the developer for their approval. So before that, we need to make sure that all the things are in place. We need to say the eligibility conditions, the income, the loan. So everything once in place, we will submit to them. Okay, then we will go for balloting. So balloting, similar to private condo launches, we will actually get a ballot number. So upon the launch day, we will go according, or rather we'll select the units according to the ballot number. So for ECs, it'll be a little bit different. 30% of the total EC units, right, it will be allocated to second timers. Meaning to say those who had already taken an EC from a developer before. Okay, those who had already bought BTO before. And for those who bought resale HDBs, right, they took up the CPF grant. Those are also counted as second timers. So in this case, only 30% of this whole units, for example, if this EC is about 1,000 units, only 300 units is allocated to the second timers. So what happens if the 300 units are taken up on launch day itself? Okay, so for second timers, we have to wait for a month. Okay, so we wait for a month. After that, the quota will open, and then we also have to go back for a ballot process. So the second timers will come back for ballot. if there are remaining units within the EC. So once we got the ballot number and then we head down on the launch day to choose our units, okay, we'll do the booking. Booking is similar to private condos, it will be 5% option fee on that particular day, and then we will exercise within 8 weeks. Construction period, it depends, could be 3 years, could be 4 years, depending on the developer. So collection of keys, this is what we call the TOP. So there will be an MOP of 5 years from TOP. And for this one, right, because this is a bit similar to private condos, within 1 year, there will be a defect liability period. So meaning to say anything within 1 year, right, if you see any defects, you can actually tell the developer and for them to rectify it for you before you start your renovations. I hope you like the content so far. If you have any questions regarding buying or selling, feel free to scan the WhatsApp QR code and I'll be happy to speak with you. So the first EC that is going to start in 2026 or rather late 2025 is the one at Pasir Ris. So this is the Loyang Besar EC and this is right opposite the Downtown East. And beside that we have Sea Horizon, which is another EC, and I've been there. These units, right, they can actually see the sea view. Those that are inner facing, they are facing towards the pool, and at the same time they are facing towards the sea. Units of such attributes do have a higher premium. And for Loyang Besar EC, right, I do see that probably there are some units with this attribute and possibly they might be priced higher than those normal units. Developed by Qingjian. So the last one they did was in Tengah, Altura, and then the other one is in Tampines, Tenet. So these two projects have been selling very well, and I believe this will be the same for this Loyang Besar EC. So this EC size is actually very big compared to the other new launch ECs in the market. Okay, so we are expecting about 700 odd units within this development. Okay, so this land was awarded back in 2024 August, and we should be expecting it to launch late 2025 or early 2026. So stay tuned for more information. Next up, we have the Tampines Street 95 EC. This is quite an interesting location because we are nestled in the Tampines estate, yet we are just a straight road away from Bedok Reservoir. Developed by Simlian. So the last one that they did was Aura of Tampines, and nearby us we have the Treasure of Tampines. This is a private condo, but it was developed by Simlian. To find an EC that is very close proximity to MRT is very difficult, and Simlian just happened to get this plot of EC that is right maybe a few minutes walk to the MRT station. Given the location of this EC, you probably don't have to worry about any resale buyers after 5 years MOP, because within the region, right, we have those new BTOs that are around this area, and there will be the resale buyers who are going to move into your EC after 5 years. So the land was awarded in November 2024, and we should be expecting the timeline to be in Q1 next year, probably. Next up, we have one in the west. This is Senja Close EC in Bukit Panjang. So you can see it's along the KJE, and it is not very close to MRT, but at least we are very close to the LRT. Okay, so going down we have the Helium Mall, which is at Bukit Panjang MRT station. So this project is developed by CDL. The last EC that they did was Lumina Grand, and if you have heard of CDL, they've done numerous projects in Singapore. So again, we are located in the area where we have BTOs around us. So this will be the supply of the resale buyers after 5 years MOP. So if you notice, the PSF is starting to get higher and higher, even though this is located in Bukit Panjang. Compared to the previous locations, we have in Pasir Ris, we in Tampines. Bukit Panjang, the PSF for the land sold was actually higher than the previous two. So the land was awarded in August 2025 this year. So we should be expecting this project to launch in about Q4 2026 or even Q1 2027. So if you notice, there's actually a half-year gap between the previous EC launch in Tampines compared to this Bukit Panjang. So once Senja Close EC happens to launch, right, so by the end of next year we should be getting a lot of interest in this particular project because there'll be no EC supplies in the whole market. So the first two ECs are in the east, and then we move to the west, and now we are in north. Okay, so Woodlands Drive 17 EC, this is along the Woodlands Avenue 12. After you exit the highway, and then you take a short quick turn, and then you go to this Woodlands Drive 17. So this is developed by CDL. So CDL took up the west, and then now they are moving to the north. So nearby us we have Norwood Grand. This is a private condominium, and it is developed by CDL. So based on my opinion, CDL is actually moving towards the west and the north. They took out some of these projects here and there, which I believe it aligns with the government's planning, because they mentioned that they are moving up to the north. They are trying to expand the north area, And of course, they are also trying to expand the west area. And I believe this is why CDL is moving to the west and the north to build more presence in this area. So similar to Senja Close, this is awarded in August, and we should be probably seeing this in the last quarter of 2026 or even early in 2027. I hope you like the content so far. Did you know that if you have a current HDB, you can actually buy an EC, wait for it to complete, and then you sell your HDB. So you can move it from HDB to EC seamlessly without selling your HDB first. So if you're keen to find out more, please scan the QR code and I'll be happy to assist you. So next we have the Sembawang Road EC. This is nestled between Canberra MRT and Yishun MRT. So this is the very classic EC that I always tell my clients, because the ECs are always not near MRT at all. And it's only given the fact that we have a few other that is very fortunate to be near MRT, like what we had previously, Royal of Tampines, Tenet, now we have Tampines Street 95 and so on. So this project is being developed by JBE. So the last they did was Commodore, which is very close to Canberra MRT. They also did numerous projects within the north area. So I've been to the location before. I always drive past this area, right? And this is actually a slope. This is actually a slope of like greeneries, and I always imagine bringing my dog there for a run. And right now the land has been sold, so I don't think I'll have this opportunity anymore. Okay, so the land was awarded in September 2025, and we should also be expecting this to be in last quarter of 2026 or probably early 2027. So I draw all this data for the EC land prices and expected break-even prices, and this is what I have. Okay, if you notice, the land sold prices are slightly increasing every time. Okay, slightly increasing every time. This one is actually not so much for Sembawang Road EC because this is entirely not near MRT at all. Woodlands, at least we have the Woodlands South MRT, which is the Thomson East Coast line. Senja Close, we still have an LRT, and this is the only new project within that BTO cluster. And this will actually garner a lot more interest compared to other areas. Tampines Street 95, nothing to say about this because this is in a very mature estate. And with the current BTOs around it, after 5 years, the resale price of this EC will definitely shoot up. Jalan Loyang Besar EC, this is in Pasir Ris. This is not near MRT, but we have something that a lot of ECs don't have. We will probably have sea view units. So given this attribute, right, this is going to be a very good selling point for this Loyang Besar EC. Okay, same thing for the break-even prices. If we see a gap between the sold land prices and the expected break-even cost, we should be expecting about 300 PSF to 400 PSF kind of range for ECs. Break-even prices are expected to be about 1,003 up to about 1,004. We should be expecting the starting price to be about 1,007 or 1,008. Okay, the prices can probably go up to 1,009 or hitting 2,000 for ECs. So there are some other new launch condos in the market that is priced around 2,000 or 2,000 odd range, not very far from the ECs, or rather the expected EC prices, sale prices that is coming up in 2026 or even 2027. So if you're keen to find out whether you should wait for this EC or you should make your move now, feel free to scan the QR code for my WhatsApp and I'll be happy to assist you. Here are 2 more bonus projects for EC, and these lands have not been sold yet. Okay, upcoming one, we have the Woodlands Drive 17. Previously we had one taken by CDL, and I believe this will also be contested by CDL because CDL took Norwood Grand and they took Woodlands Drive EC, and now they probably want to take this also. So they want to dominate this whole area. Another EC is in Yishun. This is very close to Orchid Country Club. And if you have seen those Yishun BTO, right, they are usually situated very close to Orchid Country Club because they are expanding towards the north area of the Yishun. So nearby Orchid Country Club, we have these projects, Signature at Yishun and Criterion, and also Midona Residences. Okay, so this is the reason why I believe that JBE, Hoi Hub and CDL might go for this project, because CDL is expanding towards the north area. As you have seen previously, they took up the projects around Woodlands area because CDL actually developed Criterion. Next, for Signature Yishun is developed by JBE. So previously they took up the Sembawang Road EC. They are quite well versed in the Sembawang area, or rather the north area. So probably they might also have interest in this area also. Next is Hoi Hub. So Hoi Hub recently has done Novo Place, Auto Place, and Midona Residence was done by them also. So I think they might have some interest to bid for this land. So I'm actually excited for these ECs to come into the market because with a higher price being done by all these EC, Private condo will also go up another notch. And the more important thing is that ECs so far has done very well. The profit margins are actually very high upon 5 years MOP. But my personal opinion is that the income ceiling for EC is a bit too low. So if the government is able to increase the income ceiling, more and more buyers will be able to come in and actually have a chance to purchase this kind of government subsidized housing. So once again, thank you all for watching this video. If you have any questions regarding ECs or property in general, please feel free to scan the QR code and I'll be happy to assist you. Once again, I'm Kenny and I hope to speak with you soon.